Hi everyone, Ebony here. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm excited to share a quick craft along as we kick off day 1 of Cara Brandon Creations and Dear Julie Julie's 5 Days of Valentine Digis. Cara and Julie both created some beautiful digitals for us to use, which can be found in their Etsy shop. If you like to play along with us, make sure to check out the description box below for more information on their Etsy stores. Also, be sure to use the hashtag 5DayValDigi, and all this information will be down below. In addition to me creating, there are also several other ladies who are participating as well, and I've linked their information below also. So make sure to check out all of their videos. And if you like what you see, subscribe to their channels. Let's help support one another. I'm sure you will find some inspiration out there. So let's go ahead and just hop right on to it. For day 1, these are the elements that I'll be using. And also you guys have to excuse my setup, it's a little different today. But this is day 1 for Cara Brandon. And then this one is day 1 for Dear Julie Julie. So what I plan to create is a journal cover. So I'm going to make a journal cover, and I'm also going to make some elements that can go along on the inside as I, begin to add different elements to my journal. So for me, as my base, I want to use a file folder. I'm going to use day 1 of Cara's as a cover, and then I'm going to put this on the inside as the inside cover. And I'm thinking I want to use some of this fabric so that I can make some pockets. So let me go ahead and get everything set up. Okay, I'm hoping that you all are able to see me okay. Oops. So what I want to do is first cut my file folder down to size. And I'm thinking that I want to make my book at 8.5 by 5.5. So let me just go ahead and measure this out quickly. I'm going to save this. I can use those scraps for later. And then an 8.5, which is about here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add, let me make sure this is okay first. I hope it is. Yeah, that's what I want, because I want like a little bitty border. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to get my Distress inks. And this is Festive Berries. And what I'm going to do is just go around and ink the edge of this file folder first. I'm trying to get used to inking. I really don't do a lot of inking, but I'm trying to use up my stash. I purchased this stuff, so why not use it, right? Oops, let's do the inside. I'm going to be able to see it on both sides. And alright, I can see it pretty much. Okay. So next what I'm going to do is just take a little bit of my glue just so I can attach the page, because I want to sew it down. And as you can see, I have my sewing machine here. I'm hoping that I'll be able to sew on camera, but if not, you guys can see what I'm doing still. Don't want to put too much glue, just enough to hold it in place, because I want to see the little outline. of that. Alright, so about here. Oh, I'm sorry for rocking the camera. I do apologize, everyone. And then on the inside, I want this pink one. So I'm not putting much glue, just a little bit, just to hold it in place. And I'm going to line it up so they both can be even. And what I want to do for the inside is add a pocket out of this fabric that I have. So I'm going to just measure this part out. One moment, let me put my piece back on my glue so it doesn't dry out. But what I want to do is put a little pocket here. From the pink to the pink, so let me just do a small little slit here. Let me see. I'm thinking I'll go from this point to about right here. So I'll make another little slit here. And I want to see like a little rough raggedy ends on it. You know, like the little frame. That's what I want to see on it. So with this, I'm just going to put a little bit of that out. Yeah, I think that's about right. Grab my fabric tack. I'm just going to put just a little bit down, just to hold it in place so I can go along as I sew it. So just a little dab so I can hold it down on my paper. Okay. And put a little bit on this corner. Just a little piece because I'm going to sew on that. And I don't need it to be too loose or anything, because it's not like I'm going to be putting a lot of stuff in it. But this is what I only put the glue on these two ends, because again I'm going to sew it down. So let me go ahead and do that, and then I'll be right back. Well, before I go, I'm thinking I'm going to sew this down, but I also want to put a piece of this fabric on the outside. I'm not sure if I'm going to sew it down or not, but let me just measure that right quick as well before I go any further. Which way is this going? Let's see. Just a little small piece, nothing too big. About there. Yeah, about like that. So, okay, give me a moment. I'm going to go ahead and tack all this down, then I'll be right back. Okay, so I am back. So this is what my inside of my journal will look like, and then this is the outside cover. I did not sew down this part. I just used some fabric tack just to tack it on there. Just have these little frillies. Hopefully I could pull them out some more. But so far this is my journal cover. On the inside I'll be using some of these papers. These papers also came from Cara Brandon, and I just printed them front and back. Hopefully you're able to see them. So these are the papers that will go on the inside. This one, I'm not sure what my lighting is doing because it is kind of dark. It's been snowing. And then think one more. This one, oh, two more. This one as well as the back. This with the back. And then I did some watercoloring, and I used pink acrylic paint. So these are actually pink. I'm not sure if they're really showing up good on camera. It's pink as well. And then these are some coffee dye paper. So I may be using some of these as well. But moving forward, as you all recall, Dear Julie Julie, her digital was this here, which are some cut aparts. And what I plan to do with these cut aparts, which I've already cut apart and everything, I plan to, let's see, first I'm going to, of course, turn this into the envelope, but I want to ink the edges. What I do with, here it is, with some more of that little pink. And ink all the edges because I want it all to have color going around it. This little rose, I cut that little piece out. Ink around that. Can't wait to put this book together and show you all the end results. But over the next 4 more days, I'll be using the other elements that goes along with this 5 days of Digis to show you what I'll be putting together. And this piece here. So what I'm going to do next is, for this little plain one here, I want to attach this little rose to it. Let me grab my glue. So I'm going to attach this rose to it. Oops, sorry if I was out of frame. I'm going to attach that there. But I also want to add some of this trim to it. This trim is from Hobby Lobby Paper Studio. So what I want to do is I want to add this trim right behind it. Let me go ahead and cut a piece off. Grab a little bit of fabric tack because, again, I want to stitch down this one little piece. But I'll do that after I do the next step, so I can show you what my intentions are. So stick this here just to give it just a little bit of frilliness. And I also want to put a piece on this one as well. Just going to tack it down with just a little bit of my glue. Okay, so that's these two pieces here. And I want to back them so they'll be a little bit more sturdy. And I'm just going to use the scraps from the file folder. Let me see, do I want to, yeah. Let me see. What do you guys think? I think I'll just do that instead of sewing it. I could have added this to the front and then sewed it down, but I really didn't want to see the wavy part. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I didn't really want to see this wavy part, so that's why I put it behind it. So yeah, I think I'm just going to go ahead and attach it to the file folder. Let me cut a piece of it out. Yeah, I think I might like that. It'll be like that, and then that way I can just journal on the back. But first, let me ink this up. Pink is my favorite color, so this journal is right up my alley. And then I can just attach this down. I apologize if I'm going off frame. My setup is completely different than what it normally is. So yeah, add that to there. And now I'm just going to cut off one more piece for this one here. Ink this one up as well. Wait, let me see. Is that about the size? No, let me cut some of this off. And now I can just glue this one to this one here. And again, this can be a journaling piece for me. Let me go ahead and fold up this envelope. Put a little dab of glue here, a little dab here, just to keep it in place. Then these other elements that I had already cut out, I'm going to just pop those inside this envelope. Yeah, that fits perfect. Should I ink around that part? What do you guys think? I'm going to just go ahead and go for it. Ink this part. And that about brings us to the end of today's video for day 1 of the 5 days of Digis. Let me just show you all the items again. Close off my glue. I do hope you guys are able to see. So, again, remove this. This is Dear Julie's Day 1. The different little elements here. And I chose to use the flower as well as these little cut aparts here. This is Cara Brandon's for Day 1. And for Cara Brandon's, I chose to create my cover for my journal. So I hope you all enjoy this video. If so, please give the video a thumbs up. You can leave comments down below. If you have not done so already, please subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching. And also make sure to check out the other ladies who are participating in this 5 days of Digis as well. Thank you all. Have a great one. Bye.